and get started now. Visit GoBarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Here's a pick! Intercepted! And that should end the night. McMillan, the other way. Touchdown, Broncos!
Really, it's just all about going to the next drive. Not worrying about the score, not worrying about what happened before, just worrying about getting the next good playoff.
And yeah, you know, they made plays when they had to. They ended up with 3 picks, 2 of them for touchdowns. And however you get the job done, if you get it done, you can go into your bye week like they will, happy at 8-5.
Yeah, and we'll work him in and see what he can, see how he feels. You know, that's the main thing.
In all fairness, maybe K-State was a mistake. Maybe Oregon is the right place. You see, it's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. Just look back at Dylan Edwards. That was much more dramatic than all this, and he ended up at K-State. I'm not going to sit here and say Lincoln Cure is going to end up at K-State if he signs with Oregon, but I wouldn't bet against it.
Ever since we were young, everyone wanted to be the best in our class. I mean, when you have 10 guys out there trying to be the best of your class, everyone just gets that much better. We came in here knowing not to underestimate them. I mean, these guys have played 4 games, and they've been able to stay close.
We knew we had a good football team. We knew Cunningham was a great football team. We were just trying to find ways to stay in the game. You know, 6-man, the game is never over.
If you look at their shooting percentage, their three-point shooting percentage is much better than it's been over the last probably at least 5 years for sure. And so he told me, he said I had to do what Clark does. I had to go out and get some more shooters.
We're going to beat the ever-living, ever-loving, compound, complex, Fighting Texas Aggie. That's some real little brother energy. Fighting Texas Aggie, there's nothing more disgusting than burnt orange.
And welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. The talk of the town. Welcome in. It is the Tuesday Sports Day show. Steve Webster, Mike Corson, Mike Hesher back at the microphone today as Landon Winkler back behind the control panel, running the video stream here on the show.
So now that Landon's here, I got a question. Am I going on the prowl today?
I don't know if you are going on the prowl today.
Landon, am I going on the
prowl? No.
I wasn't sure if it was an official or how. It's an interview from me anyway.
Are you on the prowl today?
That's what, yeah, I was like, do I get to cue you up that way?
Well, I don't know. Do we?
I think we should.
Do we?
Things we should have talked about.
Okay, all right.
Is there a pre-show meeting that we missed or something?
Well, when you get here 1 minute before the show starts,
okay,
that's the way it goes. On the show today, though, voice of the Cougars, Cole Reif, reacts to the Cougars' 35-game winning streak being snapped at home against Cali Saturday. And he'll talk about how they start another one Wednesday at the old dilapidated gym at Butler that they call the Power Plant.
They just do that to give it a name, I'm taking it, because it's a old high school gym.
It's just they need a new one.
Okay.
They haven't maintained it like the Kirkman or the Barton Gym.
What is the name of that place?
I just always like the Kirkman Center because it sounds like tonight.
Yes. The Barton Gym sounds like, hey, we're going to a high school, right?
The Kirkman Center.
The Kirkman Center has more.
It is attached to the Kirkman Center,
yes.
So it is the Kirkman Center. So that's where that comes from.
Okay.
But the power plant. So anyway, Cole will be in here. We'll talk about that. We'll preview Great Bend Panther boys and girls basketball today. How are we going to do that?
On the prowl.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get it now. So, Mike Corson, I get it now. I'm slow. Okay.
Thought you were playing along.
Mike Corson goes on the prowl for Panther Sports.
Missed that.
Who are you going on the prowl with?
Steve Webster, voice of the Basketball Panthers.
Yes.
The basketball team.
Getting ready to go on Friday night. Mike Hesher goes from the voice of football Panthers to voice of Boys and Cardinals.
I'm flexible, if nothing else.
I can't drive at night, so that's.
There's a big rotation. It's Cole Wright, voice of the Cardinals, known as voice of the Cougars. Mike Fisher, voice of the Panthers.
It's crazy,
voice of
isn't
the
it?
Cardinals.
Let's get it all settled down.
So we'll talk Panther boys and girls basketball, and this is going to be a Bronco-loving show today.
Amen. Orange and blue.
We will get post-game comments from last night from one Sean Payton. Broncos win again. They go to the bye week with a record of 8-5, and that's where we will start our show today with our sounds the past 24 hours or so. Joe Buck, the call last night. As Jameis Winston completes, his second of 3 interceptions.
And his second pick 6.
Which wasn't a good night. The Broncos, it was a weird game, 41-32. I didn't expect a high-scoring game last night. Bo Nix on winning the game in a back-and-forth fashion. Bo Nix is Rookie of the Year material.
I had it on. There was obviously some news going on with the power stuff, but I was fortunate enough to keep my power on. He put a ball over the middle of the field, dropped it right over the safety to the guy in stride, and then the guy ended up breaking away from everybody by about 30 yards. And I know a broken clock's right twice a day, but, I mean, that ball was money.
So, who was more disappointed last night? Bronco fans that were trying to watch the game when the power went out, or people trying to get their last-minute orders in on Cyber Monday, and then all of a sudden the computer goes down. Right when they're making a great deal on a 75-inch television.
I'll throw a third one out there. Honey, I'm parched from yelling at the TV. Can you bring me a glass of cold water? No.
I didn't get that request. I got, Steve, maybe you need to get up and go get some bottled water.
Maybe you need to get your door fixed, too, on the truck.
I got trapped in my garage this morning.
I vaguely heard.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about that Broncos game, I didn't watch it, so I was looking at stats this morning going, how did Denver win this contest? Because Cleveland dominated stats, but then I found out there was 2 pick sixes made all the difference in the world.
And I did the same. I posted the story this morning, but Judy had 235, and it was the most against a former opponent. But that was
the best he's ever done, isn't it?
I think so. Who's number 14?
Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, he's the one that caught every pass while I was watching, so I was shocked to see. I don't really think I saw Judy catch a ball.
He did for Cleveland.
Yeah, Judy plays for Cleveland now.
That would be it.
Yeah, that would be it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't
That's
follow.
what I mean. His best performance ever comes back when he comes back in.
And they were booing him, amazingly so.
Well, they should have. He had a huge night.
Okay, so one more question. Will you guys like the old D with the little horsey coming out of it?
Absolutely.
What about the helmets last night, the white with the Bronco outlined?
No.
I saw some Chiefs fans say, why can't we have something like that? And I don't know. It's kind of plain Jane.
The Chiefs have had the same helmet they've always had, except maybe when they were the
Houston
Dallas
Texans,
yeah. And it had a Native American with a tomahawk, which, you really can't.
They had war paint going there for a while.
Yeah, they did. They had a horse they rode.
The guy running around with the tomahawk.
The Raiders still have their same helmet.
I go either way. I mean,
KU has gone through more helmets in one season than what the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So anyway, Denver goes to 8-5. Joe Buck saying, yeah, you can kind of look at the schedule a little bit. Well, they do. They've got a schedule that they make it a little bit easier, but still.
And you look at that. You look what Kansas City's done with a block kick against Denver. That's 9-4. And what the illegal shift call, they're pretty even. More even than definitely it looks like in the standings right now.
No, just because the games are close, there's still an abyss between the two teams.
One guy couldn't block.
One team has black magic, the other team doesn't. It's what the Broncos used to have, that black magic with
John Elway.
Is it fun when you're driving down I-70 and you get behind a car from the John Elway dealership? Still get a kick out of that. I don't think a whole generation knows who that was.
Are there still cars out there with John?
Yeah,
okay.
I was behind one the other day.
Probably weren't for very long. Those cars are a little bit older now, aren't they? Or,
Yes, they are.
I still had him go.
I don't think he has any more dealerships.
didn't they get anyway? Okay.
We got sidetracked.
Andy Reid. Well, the next tackle up, if it's not Blake Bell, it's going to be D.L. Humphreys.
DJ.
I
believe so.
Okay.
That was my mistake.
Okay.
That was my mistake. I had to go back and
I don't
check
know.
it.
This fella named Humphreys is the next guy to fill in. Just get in the way. It takes more time for him to take you and just hurl you out of the way than to run around you.
What did I hear? They had 11 pressures from
Wanya Morris?
Yes. That's not good.
No.
Wow.
He didn't. I mean, he had like 3 whiffs in there too, and the Chiefs still won the game. But anyway, he'll probably see some action on Sunday against the L.A. Chargers. That's a night game. That's going to be
That's Sunday night
Missouri
football
at noon, and then get a break. Come back for Chiefs Chargers. Pregame coverage starts at 6 on B1043 The Point. All right. Tim Fitzgerald. Word is that 5-star recruit Lincoln Kerr out of Goodland is not going to go to the Wildcats. Instead, go to Oregon. And he's saying, well, Dylan Edwards, he went to Notre Dame, then he went to Colorado, and he came back to the family.
There was a report,
and we don't have to pay him a rookie contract, right? Okay.
I had gone up to Goodland on the way to the Colorado K-State game, got to talk to Lincoln. I think it was the next week. I believe it was PowerCat put out a report that he was skipping a trip to Oregon, and this was kind of shocking to me. And, of course, Kansas State took a little bit of a slide there. Do you pass up a chance to at least go to Oregon? And what if you go up there? Are you committing? I don't know. But I wouldn't put him in the same boat as Dylan Edwards, where there's a lot going on with that kid. I think Lincoln's going to commit and stay somewhere for a couple of years. We hope it's not Oregon.
K-State, done. Their season's done, so find out what bowl game they go to and who plays in the bowl game.
We had a quarterback step in and be the MVP last year, but maybe
he needs to sit out. I mean, get him ready for next year. Okay, some other sound. Hoxie senior quarterback Duncan Bell threw for 5 touchdown passes in Saturday's 46-0 8-man Division I title game against Central Plains, talking about the winning culture in Hoxie and also not taking Central Plains lightly coming into the game.
And as a sports cover guy, period, the track and field programs that are successful lead to good football and other school programs. Look at Hoxie, look at Hoisington, great wrestling programs. Norton, great wrestling program. Now we're seeing a whole lot of those wrestling kids. So Duncan is a state champion wrestler. I pegged Hoxie as a team that was going to come out and overpower people. Bunch of wrestlers on that team, and they were kind of finesse, but could still tackle pretty hard.
And they didn't get a lot of holding penalties.
I don't know that there was a single penalty.
I don't think you can go out and fire off the line, put someone in a half Nelson, turn them over in a cradle and put them down.
There was a couple 2 counts, but no penalties.
And how about Weskin? Brett Clough, head coach, talking about his team's expectations when they advanced to the 6-man championship game against Powerhouse Cunningham.
Yeah, just kind of fun. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, but some of these towns, populations, 120 people, 350 people in the stands, and it's a big, who turned the lights out on the way out?
Weskin is an interesting town to drive through because it's kind of like you're in the desert, right? What do they call those? You just an oasis. Oh, there's something sticking up above on the horizon.
Well, there's not a lot then.
No,
but there is something.
And I asked somebody, why was Weskin not a Keisha school for several years? I guess they had a bunch of homeschooled kids, so I think they've only been Keisha now for 2 years back into it. Obviously made kind of big headlines with their stadium lights this year. So fun year for Weskin.
A fun time for all at Greensburg for the 8-man and 6-man championship games. Alan Clark, his team doesn't get any easier. They're 0-4 in conference. Now they go to the Butler to the dilapidated building they call the power plant. And Butler's a crazy team to play. Mike Helmer is their head coach. He was a coach at Wichita South before he took that job many, many years ago. And it's just helter-skelter. I mean, they'd go down and, well, it's double team here, and it's like in the backcourt. You don't expect it to come. A jump switch, I don't know what they call that, but it's just – but it's always been they have to get steals and score like that. But then Mike Helmer said, I got to do like you did. I got to get some shooters. So they're shooting the three much better this year. So
well, that's the way Cali played too. Cali was all over the place. I mean,
that's their style.
I mean, that's just the way they play. They would double team you when you outletted a rebound. I mean, they press you all over the place. And if that's the same way, Barton better take care of the basketball, which has been a problem.
And get through the first quarter here, last couple games, getting a big hole. And Aggie yell practice. Mikey Corson pulling this off.
So the big game this weekend was Texas at A&M, and that hadn't happened in, a decade because of the conference switches. Now that Texas is back down there, it was ramped up. So you learned a lot about Texas A&M, that all their cheers are directed at the University of Texas, which is silly. So the kicker was, you picture these macho guys in their little brown uniforms doing these yells. This little guy was in his overalls, and he took a beating on Facebook this weekend. So I have watched it 50 times because I think it's hilarious. But you say it's awesome.
Aggie yell, midnight yell practice. They go down, and it's...
Okay, can we play it one more? So you got to listen to his emphasis. He's doing things with his body. He's like pulling up his knee.
Okay, all right. Give it play-by-play here.
We're going to beat the ever-living,
right
ever-loving, compound, complex, Fighting Texas Aggie. That's some real little brother energy. Fighting Texas Aggie. There's nothing more disgusting.
Orange.
Orange.
So you got to kick that knee out when he says orange. So I had to Google it 50 times trying to prep for this little 15-second segment. What is he saying? Fighting Texas Aggies?
Chris Allison and me went down there because K-State played that next night. So, we got to sleep in the next day. It was pretty cool. Then the next day we found out how many rules they have on there because Reveille is the mascot.
I was going to talk about.
Yeah, and Chris Allison was standing where Reveille is supposed to stand, and the guy told me, you're going to have to move out of the way. Because I'm just standing, that is Reveille's spot. And he said, we have rules here in Texas.
So
we have rules. We have rules in Texas.
They do. I don't like Texas A&M, love dogs. So Reveille's a collie, and she gets carted around, doesn't walk, gets her own hotel room, I believe. But when Reveille's die, they're buried outside the stadium with their noses facing the scoreboard. So then they put new stadium renovations in. Well, now the pups can't see the scoreboard. They put in a little scoreboard for the dead dogs underground to see. So I almost made me a Texas A&M fan. That and Johnny Manziel.
Is Texas A&M not the baseball place that goes if somebody walks on 4 pitches and the next guy takes ball 1, the whole crowd starts yelling ball 5 until you throw a strike, so that you can get up to like ball 9, ball 10.
Is that the 10th man?
Very well could be. Yeah, I knew a gal in Colorado who had gone to Texas A&M, and that was I found that was hilarious.
They do seem to like their chants.
You better throw strikes in Texas A&M.
Ball 7.
Ball 7. And they would chant it the whole time until you threw a strike.
It's an interesting town. College Station and Bryan. It's like Pittsburgh and Frontenac in Kansas.
Okay.
So if you didn't watch college games,
you just drive from one and you're in the other.
They have like a 3-minute chant that when you go to Texas A&M, is that part of the admissions that you have to memorize?
You have to know the chant?
And then the whole thing where they're moving back and forth?
No, that's scary.
That is the sawing of the Longhorns.
That's what that is?
Yeah.
It is weird when you're in that stadium and you're way up high, and everybody in the stadiums do it, and you can feel the stadium moving. That is not good.
But I encourage people to go find the video of this kid doing it because his little motions make the clip even funnier.
There you go.
Highly entertaining.
Sports and more.
You can tell it's Christmas break almost, right? Well, we're not quite there yet. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Transition between football and basketball. How about that?
The transition time. Cole Rife coming in next on Sports Day, brought to you by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison. Freedom Claims Management, innovative healthcare plans for your business. Let them take care of everything for you from start to finish, and continued support. They have you covered. And the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
It's another instant finalist day for the 20K Christmas Cash Giveaway, brought to you by Bauer Computers, Mayo Money Management, and Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryant dealer, whatever it takes. Now, today you can head into Next Tech Wireless before 5 o'clock to get registered, and you guys have some great deals going on right now.
We are definitely giving out some credits for some phones. If you join us, starting with a bonus plan, not only do you have great service, you're going to get $629 credit towards a device without a trade-in, additional credits if you trade in a phone. Binge, we're offering $750 credit towards a device without a trade-in. Again, additional credit with a trade-in, and some other limited time offers as well.
That's right. The deals do not stop there. So let's talk about some of the limited time offers.
So right now what we're offering is on A series Samsung's $40 extra credit towards the device. We're also offering 6 months of cellular service for the watch free with a purchase of a watch.
Friendly service here at Next Tech Wireless. Stop on in today. Become an instant finalist for the 20K Christmas Cash Giveaway, brought to you by Bauer Computers, Mayo Money Management, and Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryant dealer, whatever it takes.
He's the voice of Hoisington High School football, the Barton County Cougars, and the king of the tweeter machine. It's Cole Reif on Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Yeah, Sports Day brought to you in part by the American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department, featuring number 2 Clear Diesel, bulk fuel, E10 fuel delivery, and all your lubricants and fuel supplies. And by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Well, Hesh said it's transition time. Yeah, we're going from football to basketball, although Barton basketball is about a third of the way through right now. It's pretty amazing to figure. But since we are a public service program, I saw you yesterday down at Holy Family Elementary School picking up your child. And one of the things picking up Parker every once in a while, I've had to learn the different strategies, the enter strategy and the exit strategy on getting out and in to the parking lot at Holy Family. What are some of your secrets, Cole Reif?
Well, typically he gets a bus that transports him out to, or the van, I should say. You ever see the red van out there?
No.
Okay, well, there's a red van out there that takes him to daycare for about an hour and a half before we pick him up at 5 o'clock. Okay. So that is the typical strategy. But on special occasions...
take him to daycare instead of take him to grandma's.
Correct. Yeah, they take him to daycare, yeah. So that's usually the strategy. But I just noticed yesterday was a special occasion because we did something after school. But I noticed, the streets, I guess it would be Broadway.
Yeah.
And on the north side of Broadway, I noticed some people parking parallel on that side. So it's a longer walk, obviously, to get to the drop-off zone. But once you get your kid and you do have that longer walk, it's a much easier way out if you're just going west on Broadway. So I noticed that. But if you park inside the parking lot itself, yeah, it's a free-for-all.
But that means Fitz is actually not running off from you and into another, because there's like 6 crossings you got to go across there, right? So he sticks pretty close to you then.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
It's kind of like that, but then he sees like Fitz yesterday and wants to, I want to give him a hug, and he goes running out and always gets run over.
Yeah. It's like they don't see each other the entire school day, and then like this is their time to actually say hi and bye and whatnot. Yeah. Yeah, it's a mess. Like, there's a lot of tough drop-off zones. Let me talk about, like, Jefferson. Lincoln's not bad because it's not right. I mean, it's right off Patton.
Yeah, but
Park, there's a lot of busy.
Well, there's strategies for everything. So, I mean,
Yeah, and for sure, I mean, this is just an old strategy everyone uses anywhere, but you don't want to box yourself in the parking lot. Like, to have to back up with, everyone crossing through and little kids, yeah, that's not
Thank
fun.
goodness I get to turn west on Broadway because that's a tricky one when you're trying.
Yeah, if you're going east, forget about it. Or in the morning at 8 o'clock, like, goodness.
And be able to leave some space in there, so you can get through to the outside turn lane if you're on the west side of the park. Okay. Very good. I've kind of learned. Cody Harris is down there all the time. I just watch what he does. So
You just follow him.
Yes.
Does he clear out like in a sunflower bus or something? Yeah.
Barton goes to Butler tomorrow night, so I thought maybe we would rank the arenas that at one time used to be nice but have slowly turned into dumps.
No, I heard you say before I came up here.
I don't like the power plant.
Now they've renovated.
Well, okay.
Seating. I mean, since you've been there, seating has been upgraded.
So they don't have those just wooden bleachers that pull out. Okay.
No. And then on the end zones.
They paint it.
Yeah, they had fresh paint, and then they put up. Not only did they put up, a video monitor. They got a new scoreboard, which I do not like because it's almost
too big.
No, it's the lighting on the scoreboard itself is like a real, like those new white lights. Like when you see like the newer cars and they have like almost a bright, like it looks like they have their brights on, but there's just regular light. That's what the scoreboard reminds me of. Like it is so bright. It's kind of like, maybe I'm just getting old. And then, but then also then on the end zones on the second level, because they have that walk path. I think some of their football rooms are up there in the second level. And
it's just
they put like windows so you can, like, if you're crossing behind the goals, you can see from the second level down onto the gym, which is kind of cool.
Okay,
I like
so
that.
all right, I take that all back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's it's better. It's much better over the last few years.
Where would you rank Independence on that?
Out of the Jayhawk, last.
Yeah, that used to be really nice.
Really? That hasn't been nice
It
since
was.
I've been there.
No, it was.
Nothing against. I mean, just you got what you got. But
Well, the termites hadn't chewed through the wooden facility for where the press sits.
what I told you was the last year was the first year that we actually got to sit on the home side.
Yeah.
And or where the home radio used to be, but they stopped calling their games. So now, if you're visiting radio, you can pick your side.
So it's
essentially.
not-
So now you get more room, and you don't have to go.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so it's much better at Indy as far as a broadcaster perspective. But gym itself, Indy's probably near the bottom.
I guess I shouldn't. I'm not an official ranker anymore. I just haven't been to those places enough.
You can hop on the bus.
The Beaver
Webby.
Dome's always been the same.
Yeah, I like the Beaver Dome. I don't necessarily put the Beaver Dome up in the top 5 or 6.
Since Dodge City's got a new place. It used to be the
Dodge is
Civic
nice,
Center where you
yeah.
do the one at the end zone. You had to go the stairs of death to get up there.
Yeah, and then there's debate whether or not the Civic Center stairs were worse than the Garden City spiral staircase, which I heard Hesh had issues with.
Well, he's
last
scared
week.
of heights, I guess.
Yeah, so that doesn't help. Yeah, I mean there's ins and outs of each one of the gyms, I think, but
And Coffeyville, of course, as long as the door's not open and the ball doesn't roll outside in the parking lot like it did at the shootout one year.
Coffeyville has afternoon problems when it's nice out when the garage door's open. That's for sure. During the evenings, it's not as big of a deal, but.
And I don't know if Fort Scott. I'll have to ask Jade Winter about it. She played at Fort Scott. Was when the rodeo arena was right next to the gym. And there was nothing but a garage door that opened in between, so the court was always dusty. I mean, you have horses running around, and next to that was a rodeo arena, and then, yeah.
I mean, there's gyms that we go to, and even places that you would consider upper, junior colleges that, you go and, like, there's smudges on the glass, on the backboard, and just, they're haven't swept in a couple weeks. It seems like there's some places you go to. Like it's just kind of that standard you want, and Barton has that. They wanted things to look nice. I mean, there's other places too in the Jayhawk that do a good job, but like there's some places you go to, you can just tell they don't have that same care factor where making sure the glass is clean, making sure the floor is swept, really well, picking up trash in the stands. That's just kind of the way it is. But you kind of take it for granted at Barton.
Yeah. Okay. And Barton's as old as anyone's. But
it's up there. But they've constantly, made some improvements. Obviously, with the seating last year, getting the new seating in. There's plans for that end zone on the south side. Hopefully, maybe by next year to have some, more of a distinguished Hall of Fame room there at Barton. So there's some good plans in the works too to continue to improve that gym, and it's used for different things too. I mean, obviously graduation, but there's a lot of volleyball, but there's a lot of other things that use that gym and that space too. So it's been good, nice.
They ever put any new padded seats in at the greenhouse at Seward?
Padded seats? It's the same ones. They have the padded on the other side. Yeah.
Those things are a little bit cheesy now, man. That thing's been in there a long time. There's been a lot of rumps in them things.
So you don't think there's not much comfort left in those seats?
Well, it's like having an old couch in your living room.
It's always so dark over there. Like there's no lighting whatsoever on that side. So like even during, and obviously the lights are on for the game and, it's afternoon game, like it doesn't matter. Like it's always just like almost pitch dark at the near top and then there's just shadows all the way down. Garden City's kind of like that sometimes too.
Garden City's a good broadcast location, but
Garden City, you're running into the rails blocking your view of because there's so many guide wires and like poles, and because they have banners like sponsorship banners.
Yeah.
And so there's sometimes like depending on the spot you have on that crow's nest, like you have to kind of finagle your way to try to look at the scoreboard to see what it is because there's only one scoreboard they can really look at.
Well, when you're at Coffeyville, when they had the shootout down there, the second gym had a little place where you went up, but they had the heating and air system. So when the heater came on, the air tubes would expand. And you couldn't see the scoreboard on either side. So you just hope then it's a close game that turn the thermostat down so I can give the score on the radio.
So now at Nellis Hall, like they have just the one scoreboard on the one side, which is this is nitpicking, but there's only one scoreboard. So if you ever want to, if the ball's on the left side, but the scoreboard's on the right side, so if it's coming down to a crucial time and you want to see like how much time, you're looking back over to the right. Oh, you're 7 seconds, and then you quickly shift your head back over to the left, and
the ball's rolling out.
Then you miss something. Yeah, because you're looking at the scoreboard on the other side.
Yeah, it's good scoreboard stories. Yeah, Lions put their new one in, and it was really a cool scoreboard, but they put it on the side of the school that faces to the west, so until the sun goes down, you really can't see what's on the scoreboard. So,
when I told you the story of when I was in lacrosse doing area games of the week, and I was covering the lacrosse Leopards, and they before they renovated their press box, they put up it was for a playoff game, so it was real popular. So we got out there and they put up a scissors lift just behind the press box to the left, and I was like, that's fine. It was a little bit sketchy. I had to step over the railing to get to the scissors lift. Set all my equipment up, game's getting ready to go. I realized that the press box is blocking the scoreboard completely. Like I told you this story before, but like that was one of those situations. Like, so the whole entire game I had no idea. Obviously the score I can keep track of, but the time, you couldn't even lean out. So there was a guy in front of me on the back row of the stands that I would yell to during timeouts and say, "Hey, how much time? How much time?"
All right, real quick. Barton's 35-game winning streak comes to an end. To Cali, of course.
Yeah.
Now you go to Butler. It's time to start another one, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that Cali game, and Cali's really good. I mean, they brought back some really nice three specific nice players that came back from last year's team that played pretty big roles from that year's team, and defensively they're always good. Barton shot the ball well. They were shooting like 51% in that game. And obviously had their chances. Even the final media timeout, I think they had a 1-point lead and came down the wire. And Cali made a few more plays, and they had 18 turnovers, and by Barton standards, I think that tied their season high with 18 turnovers. So got to clean that up. And other than that, you shot well, you defended well, you kept the game in the 70s. It's just two really good teams duking it out. And man, you talk about a similar story though. The same time of the month last year that they lost to Cali at home, and then they rattled off 27 straight. So. We'll see.
Lady Cougars fighting it a little bit right now.
Yeah, I mean they're in the slumps right now. They've lost back-to-back, 4 straight games by double digits. And it's the first 0-4 conference start in a while. I mean, I have those numbers. I'll say for the broadcast, but the first 0-4 start in a while. I mean, you have to go back even further to find an 0-5 start in conference play for Barton. And we knew this stretch was going to be tough. I mean, Butler's going to be good. They're going to be ticked off. They've lost back-to-back games. They got kind of messed up a little bit against Dodge City this past Saturday, who I think is going to be really good again this year. It's going to be a dogfight for the Barton women right now. They got to kind of find their way, and obviously we talked about limiting the turnovers, but they just need some different players to step up, and I think they can get there, and especially with the track record that Alan Clark has with teams playing better in January and February. There's not a huge concern, but I think just when you talk about Barton women's basketball, I mean, you see 4 straight losses, 4 and 6 overall. It's just not what we're used to.
Have fun tomorrow night, and we'll really dig deep into Barton basketball next week.
I'll send you like a panorama picture of what the power plant looks like now.
Okay.
So you can compare. And I'll do that for every road game this year, so that way you can get the updated list of what the Jayhawk looks like.
Okay, exactly. I mean, I'm out of the loop now.
Okay, I'll do that.
I mean, Colby's in a new fantastic
Colby's
place.
nice, yeah.
The old community building's not there. There's stage and everything like that. So yeah. Time's passing me by.
I'll send you some broadcast pics.
Okay, very good. Cole Reif with us, voice of the Cougars. We'll talk Great Bend Panther basketball up next.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
If you're needing a healthcare plan for your business, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's need. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimsinc.com where you can schedule a free, no obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend.
Step into the spotlight with Barton Community College's theater program. Whether you dream of performing on stage or creating magic behind the scenes, Barton offers hands-on training, expert guidance, and creative performance opportunities. With top-tier facilities and a supportive community, you'll develop the skills to shine. Turn your passion into a career and start your journey to the stage at Barton. Learn more at theater.bartoncccc.edu.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys make it happen.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Reif, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. Sports Day today brought to you by Great Bend Recreation Commission, dedicated to improving our community and the lives of its individuals, and the Animal Medical Center. In Great Bend, large or small, they take care of them all. So today's special guest on my side anyway, the mentor is on the other side of the microphone. That would be voice of the Panthers this basketball season, Steve Webster.
Great to be here, Mike. Thanks for having me in.
Thanks for joining us. I know it's cold outside, probably a long trip to get here. I'll bring this up. So last year, 2 years ago it was, coming home from Hayes, the mighty Steve Webster's driving the car, and I'm in the back seat thinking, this is heavy. This might have been Steve Webster's last game. How awesome to get back on the microphone this year.
I didn't expect it, but sometimes things work out that way, and what a better team to come back to at Great Bend High School. I love doing games at the field house. I love calling it a historic Panther field house, but one of the coolest high school gyms around, and it's fun to do the high school games. Can't wait until Friday when Salina South comes to town.
And Deb's probably thinking, no, I get to get rid of him twice a week when he goes to Garden City and Liberal. Yeah, so I think you were probably excited 2 years ago, and then last year was a pretty big season, first state appearance in 14 years. What are your expectations or the excitement level heading into this season?
I think that the expectations, don't you think, are pretty high?
Football team showed us a lot.
Yes,
a lot of same kids.
And you have Ian Premer coming back, so that's a big thing. Now, Ian's been slowed a little bit. He's kind of beat up after the football season, but he'll be ready to go hopefully on Friday. But you always think, okay, well, we've got these guys back. We ought to be really, really good. But you always got to remember what you lost from last year's team, and I think part of that is three-point shooting. That we'll see if they can replace that. Now, Carter Combs was around 37% from three. Parker Dix is a guy that everybody not even going to think about as being, but he was just the silent guy, the silent assassin, played defense, handled the ball, got the team in the offense, and if you left him open, he was going to knock down the three. He was close to a 40% three-point shooter. Maddox Spray was a long, quick, good defender. And, excellent around that 12 to 14-foot range with the jump shot, very athletic. So those are three key pieces that they're going to have to replace this year. I'm not saying they won't, but, yeah, we've got some guys that are going to have to step in, and we'll see how they go. I don't think the Panthers, maybe at least to start the season, will be as deep as they were last year. But that's the depth that Kyle Cree will be trying to develop as the season goes along.
And it's always kind of fun. We saw Daxton Minton come up, young quarterback, the difference that was made in a year and then a two, hopefully that carries over on the basketball court with guys like Cooper Omont, Daxton Minton. Jacob Hall's been a stud in all the sports he plays, but now he's got another year under his belt. How fun to see so many of those same names.
Yeah, and they'll be in different roles for sure. I mean, you got Cooper, who played quite a bit last year. As far as a three-point threat, I don't know yet. He was only 1 for 7 from three last year. Dax was 2 for 8. But they were key players off the bench that gave Kyle Cree some depth on that squad. So those two will have to step up. Isaiah Reed is back. And you have, Ben Nicholson, who can shoot the three ball, but a very athletic 6'6". He'll have to get inside and rebound a little bit. And Jacob Hall is just like with the football team, maybe not talk about him all the time, but, man, he is a key part of the team, and he will be this year. And you talk about a good three-point shooter. He didn't take very many last year. I think 16 or 17 threes, but he hit 46% of them. A very good shooter. And so those are the pieces that we'll have to see fit together. So even though the expectations are high, there's some tinkering going on with this team.
Talking to Steve Webster, the voice of the Panther basketball teams this winter. Season starts Friday against Salina South. Girls side, always exciting to have a new coach. You always hate to say goodbye to the last one, especially when she's kind of a legacy kid here at Great Bend High School and Cindy Beck. But what do we know about the new coach?
Well, Jade Winter comes here after coaching at Otis Bison. So a step up, obviously, from 1A to Class 5A. Jade has a basketball background. She went to Derby High School, played junior college basketball at Fort Scott, and watching a couple practices so far, installing her new things that she's going to do. The problem with the Lady Panthers this year is, boy, they lost some firepower last year. Sadie Spray, Hall, Kenzie Premer. And players like that they have to replace this year. And we'll see, they don't have a lot of scoring coming back. So who's going to score the points, we'll have to find out.
And one new kid, I think that Cassie Elligood, we've seen her excel at so many sports. Now coming back out for basketball. Going to bring some athleticism, some height. I like to think some meanness with that one. How fun to watch her mix up with some of those girls who are returning, like your Alyssa McCauley's and whatnot.
Well, yeah, Cass is very athletic. She's very fast. Sometimes with Cassie, it's, just slow down just a little bit because she's so explosive, but she gets going fast to the basket, making those shots underneath. She's a tremendous sleeper, very good rebounder. She had, as a sophomore, came off the bench and had several very good games, a couple against Dodge City that I can remember a couple of years ago. So she's going to be very key, but she's going to need to score down low in the block. And, of course, then you get Cassie Elligood back, and then Denver Ringo gets hurt. So that was a big blow right there. Denver's still recovering from ACL surgery, so she's not going to be part of this season. So, yeah, welcome to Great Bend, Jade. You've, lost one of your key returners, but we'll get to see some other players step up and see what they can do.
I was going to say, well, yeah, welcome to the Fieldhouse, Jaden. But if you've ever been to Otis, man, that crowd's, it's a small gym. They're right on top of you. If she played down Derby and some of those Wichita schools and junior college balls, it won't be anything new to her. Just as for you, what are you looking forward to, getting back on the microphone, getting back to some of your old haunts?
I want to go to Liberal.
I just heard the
January 3rd. Yeah, I want to go down to Liberal. No, just kidding. It's just I haven't made the 3-hour drive in a while. But the thing that I love about the Western Athletic Conference, it's not a very big conference. You only have 4 other opponents, but everybody hates each other. That's the way a good conference should be, right? And, of course, the Hayes High games, Dodge City, Liberal, Garden City, it's wherever you go. I like that conference play aspect of it. And I like the schedule this year, too. They're not getting Junction City to start the year. It will be Salina South. And also, they make a trip right before the end of the Christmas break to see Chris Batten's, the Fighting Battens, Pratt Greenbacks, down in Pratt. So,
and you'll get one more change. This will be a unique opportunity to call high school basketball this year. It might not happen in 2024, sounds like, but 2025 rolls around. Most of the schools Great Bend will play will have the shot clock. What does that do for a play-by-play guy?
Well, it makes the game go fast, sure. I don't want to see someone passing the ball around the whole time. I don't think it's going to be a big difference for teams. For some teams, it's a challenge to go that long without turning the ball over.
As a play-by-play guy, when they do the stall game, it's, Smith is holding the ball again.
Well, that's when you have your stats and things that you can throw out there in between. Or Panther Basketball brought to you by the 10th Street Eye Care Center.
This hold sponsored by Animal Medical Center.
No, really looking forward to it. And again, just to be back in the Panther Fieldhouse, the band, and just the entire environment, the student section, something special about all that. So looking forward to it.
One more here. You were talking to Cole Rife about venues. When was the last time before 2 years ago that you'd been up to a Hayes Great Bend game in that basic gym they have?
Oh, probably 1991.
Right. So, and it's sad that it's a basic gym, the old format where just the bleachers come out, nothing on the ends. But I tell you, when both teams are kicking, which probably another season of that, few places beat it, and I don't know that the new school will have that atmosphere. So hopefully so. But, yeah, Great Bend opening the season this Friday against Salina South. We'll see you there.
Okay, Mikey. Thanks, man.
More sports day after this.
Appreciate the invite.
Community bankers know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, and today we want to give a shout out to all the supporting cast at these basketball games. We have some great young men and young women on the court, but we also have some great young men and women playing their instruments, cheering, dancing, all those things. Let's clap for them. When they perform and get done, let's show them a round of applause, show them some love as well, because they deserve it. Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, large or small, we take care of them all.
Sports, leisure, fitness and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs, it's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Now, in its 13th year, this program is brought to you exclusively by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. This is Sports Day on KVGB.
Welcome back. Sports Day today. Our show brought to you by Equity Bank. Here when you need them. Bank local. Save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. And Eller Automotive Repair, where they specialize in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. I'd like to thank Steve Webster for stopping by on the program today. Mike Corson back with us. You know,
he's been on the radio before.
Yes.
Natural.
So what do you think about the Broncos? I think they're pretty good.
It's hard I got non-diagnosed attention problems. And so here's the Chiefs. They've been dominant for at least 5 years. And you love them because they're your backyard team. Mahomes is awesome. But it is always fun to see a team that really struggled come back. And I'm telling you, the blocked field goal, that's one guy failing his job, or otherwise they win and they're 9-4 on the season with some momentum. And he's only building. He's got a rookie quarterback. He's only been there 2 years. Yikes. So everybody's talking about the Chargers.
And the Russell Wilson money comes off next year. They're going to have all kinds of money, and they're still going to have a quarterback on a rookie.
And I don't know what the situation. Hesh listens to all the radio out there, but I got to think that fan base was down.
Oh, yeah, they're
just
back up.
Yeah, Kansas City, you build that back up, it gets even scarier.
I'm seeing Bronco apparel all over. It's a little bit tattered, especially when they wear the Super Bowl stuff, but, it's getting a little bit older. But they're ready to go. Oh, yeah, they're fired up. And they win last night, high-scoring affair, 41-32 over Cleveland, who has shown they can play some football.
Real quick on that score, the Notre Dame score was similar this weekend, and one of the analysts says, boy, that Notre Dame defense is something. It's like, you're going to give up 35 points and say that defense. So, yeah, it's funny that these defensive powers, because that's what Denver was supposed to be.
That's what I was thinking of. But again, they win it different fashion. So they did it with their offense. Yeah, how about that? Yeah, that's defense there. Sean Payton, after the ball game, talking to the Denver media about what kind of game it was.
Holy cow. There's some games go maybe in a direction you think they're going to go. Obviously, that one went in a much different direction. We made enough plays in the end to win, so I'll just take questions.
Yeah, how did you win when, Winston and Judy are moving the ball all over the yard? It was about big plays?
Yeah, look, obviously, when we go back and look at that tape, we're going to look at a lot of things defensively that we would have done differently. We have to. And yet, we had 2 interceptions for touchdowns, a third interception. I told them in the locker room, look at it wasn't pretty, and yet in the end, we did what we had to do, especially late.
Coach, you talk a lot about momentum swings in games and grabbing it back quickly, whether it was the Mims catch, the pick sixes. How'd you see your team tonight kind of grab the momentum right back?
You lose track of it because there were so many different big plays there. Of course, Mims had the 3rd and long touchdown. They come right back, and there were just so many of those big plays. I thought the turnover battle, was close, and then we ended up winning it, and that really sealed the game. We won the rushing battle. Obviously, there's a number of things that we'll clean up defensively. We had some penalties set us back offensively, especially in one series. But I'm proud of the way that we fought, and we got that next win that was most important.
How close were you to keeping the offense on the field there?
Yeah, I had a play, and then I just wanted to see what we were getting, and I didn't like the play once I saw what we were getting. It was a full blitz 0 look, so I felt like that time helped me to, kick the field goal.
Sean, I feel like I'm asking you this every week, but the multiple running back rotation seems to continue to be tricky, but Jaleel tonight obviously
played well. We felt like some of the wide zone stuff, tosses, were going to be good. He had a lot of good runs. So part of it was the scheme that was successful, or a couple schemes that we've seen other teams have success with, that we had success with as well. So all in all, it was good.
Coach Jerry Jeudy had over 200 yards. What gave the defense issues with him?
Well, look, we're going to match Pat, and then just the simple slot, move him over to the other side. We've got to be able to handle that. It's too easy offensively for us to do that. So I'm sure we'll look at that tape. We ask it always of the players. So when we come back, the same way the coaches, like, all right, how would we play that game if we played it again? And I think that's coaching. I mean, it's us always making sure, hey, did we put our guys in the best position? But again, we made enough plays.
Coach, this wasn't the best overall effort from the defense tonight, but you guys still able to generate 3 picks. What does that say about the defense's resiliency and the team's resiliency?
Especially late, I think, man, it was huge. It wasn't perfect by any means, and we were able to finish.
Sean, for Bo in the offense to come back after throwing the deep interception and when he threw for Mims.
That was my fault.
Okay.
I mean, that call wasn't good.
Okay. And then, but just to respond, after that, they go down and scored.
Yeah.
The grit that you saw from there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a poise about that group. We didn't set ourselves back with minus plays, really. And we had maybe in the first half. It was a key moment. Obviously, where we were at, down 1 point in the game.
Sean Payton comments after last night's victory over the Cleveland Browns, and the Broncos are 8-5 heading to their bye week. We'll take a break. More Sports Day coming up.
Pulling acres ahead of the competition is simple. Cenex Maxtron synthetic diesel engine oils give you the smartest oil for the toughest conditions. These premium oils are formulated with EnduroVis technology and a balanced additive package to control deposits for a cleaner, more efficient engine that gives you proven durability. Cenex Maxtron diesel engine oils. Oil that runs smart.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
Barton Community College's natural gas program gives you the skills and training you need to succeed. Current student Easton chose Barton to get him ready for the field.
I chose natural gas because I saw all the different type of hands-on work that they do. The technology is top-notch. Instructors are very knowledgeable of everything. Anybody interested in a career in natural gas, I really encourage them to come here to Barton. My name is Easton Juneau, and I'm a Barton Cougar.
Learn more at naturalgas.bartonccc.edu.
Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. It's all brought to you exclusively by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back, Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Good program today, and tomorrow, we'll start getting ready for basketball season. Jade Winter, new coach of the Great Bend Lady Panthers, will be in. Jillian Reimer will be in on the show as well. Miles Minges. Remember, we couldn't hook up with Miles right after the football season was over, but he's going to join us tomorrow. The MIAA Defensive Player of the Year.
Phone call or coming in?
Oh, phone call. Phone call. Yeah.
We have to get a bigger studio, I'm afraid, if he came in.
And then we couldn't hook up with Lars Luters today for On the Prowl, but we'll try to do that tomorrow. So that'll be on the Wednesday show. Woo, high school basketball season right around the corner. As they say, it's here.
It's here, yeah. They had jamborees last night. I know Hoisington went to Garden City for a jamboree. That's what I thought.
Okay, Panthers having a scrimmage tonight, so we'll have some good stuff for the show tomorrow on KVGB.